Welcome to the Apollo Blockchain and Cryptocurrency Podcast, also known as the ABC Podcast, brought to you by Salad Ventures and the Apollo Academy. My name is Wesley Matthews, and I'm also known as Captain Aqua. Thank you for joining us, and buckle up.
Hello, and GM. It's been a long time. Is Wesley here?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having us. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for your time, by the way, and of course for setting up this AMA with us, PlaceWar. All right, so guys, I just want to make an introduction for Salad Ventures. Of course, they envision a future where, of course, the power of blockchain is harnessed to break barriers and provide equal opportunities for everyone. And of course, they've been our partner and we've been collaborating ever since last year. And you can check it out when it comes to the Web3 branding that I actually here. And of course, Salad Ventures pioneer in this transformation. So they are making the X to Earn ecosystem, and they're basically revolutionizing the Web3 world. You know, it's not just us, PlaceWar, but of course, I do have here now our speaker for today. You can make the introduction about Salad Ventures and of course yourself.
Thank you so much, Martha. Super happy to be here today. Again, we've been partnered up with PlaceWar for a long time now, and I think this catch-up is due. But I think what our main focus for today is to really bring the PlaceWar community up to speed in regards to what the partnership has been all about in regards to the Arcaden program that started the whole partnership to begin with. So essentially, this allows users to find out more about PlaceWar, connect with their socials, and we incentivize these users with an NFT loot box, which is our GEM NFT series. So we'll talk more about that later. But for that introduction in regards to Salad Ventures, we started out as an Axie Infinity Guild. That's all the way back in May 2021. And of course, primarily then, our vision was on play to earn. We all know how GameFi has evolved. And now we continue to expand our vision on X to Earn. And more importantly, our mandate is to help Web3 projects to grow, all right? And that is together with our existing pillars, Collect and Earn, which is with our GEM NFT series, Learn and Earn through the Apollo Academy, Work and Earn with a decentralized labor exchange that will be launched sometime next year that we call Maslow. And we still bring in a bit of the play and earn element with Arcaden, which is an online hyper-casual arcade platform. So it is our general idea now to fuse the GEM NFT series and the world of Arcaden into one experience. So in fact, collectors who have been collecting these GEM NFTs can find their rankings on the GEM leaderboard. All right. So for those of you who have already minted your loot boxes, you will know what this is all about. If you have never minted these loot boxes before, we are here today to tell you more about what it is all about. And of course, within our ecosystem, we run Club Salad, which is an in real life events community that allows builders to network and connect here in Singapore. Just a quick background of myself. I was an MC for corporate events for a decade before the pandemic came along. But of course, thankfully, from chaos comes blessing. I was able to start Salad as the chief gaming officer, training scholars to play Axie Infinity. I bred all the Axies, formed the teams together. And the irony is that today, unfortunately, I do very little gaming. So I do miss that very, very much. I now serve as the community lead and, of course, the content creator within Salad to continue to educate all about our mission and how we can build together. Thanks for allowing me to make the introductions, Myrtle, and glad to be here once more.
And it's really amazing that when it comes to your experience, we do have the same. Way back 2017, I started out as a host. And at the same time, it really piqued my interest in for us to actually be aligned in what we're doing, you know. So you, of course, you never stopped building ever since you bred a lot of Axies. You became like a manager and a host. At the same time, you're now building. And it's not very common for us to see that in this space. Because a lot of people, when they're actually tired of playing an Axie Infinity or other games, they just leave the space. And I saw many people actually done that. Thank you so much, by the way, for sharing your introduction. So let's go ahead when it comes to the questions. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right. So first question, of course, this one is very important in any types or any communities. This one is a great achievement, you know. So how did Salad Ventures achieve over 2 million NFT mints? That's huge, and over 40,000 KYC users.
Thank you so much for the question, Mathil. And again, just to give everybody a little bit more context in regards to why we are so thankful for the support that the gem collector community has shown us. We started this out as a proof of concept in December last year. And the idea was to really reach out to more users within the Web3 space on a platform known as Galaxy. Now, Galaxy, of course, is one of the biggest platforms out there for users to build their digital identity by working with spaces and projects in order to collect mini NFTs known as on-chain achievement tokens, or NFTs, that really allow them to cement themselves on the blockchain in order to identify better with the projects that they want to collaborate with and benefit from. So ultimately, when we launched the GEM NFT series, we also included a gamified aspect which allowed users to forge their NFTs. Now, from what I understand, Mathil, this feature was already available for a long time, but not many spaces were using it. And our growth lead, Gabriel, essentially came up with the idea that you could take 10 of the basic gems, which are known as purple gems, and forge them together with a forging material NFT known as the Purple Alchemy Potion, because for the forging campaign to work, you need 2 separate NFTs. So essentially, you are like burning 10 of the purple NFTs, the purple gems, and 1 of the forging materials. And that will craft a higher rarity NFT known as a bronze gem. And so on and so forth. Folks needed to get 10 bronze together with the forging material to get a silver, 10 silvers with another forging material to get a gold, 10 gold with another forging material to get a rainbow, which is the highest rarity tier for our gems, and currently now worth around 200 to 250 USD on the secondary marketplaces. And everybody was enjoying the experience. They were completing actions. They were following our Twitter profile. They were liking our tweets. They were retweeting. They were mentioning friends. All this to get their hands on the gems. And eventually, we introduced the KYC factor into this, which was the Salad Passport. So when folks wanted to forge, they needed to have a Salad Passport. They needed to get the Galaxy Passport first and go through a KYC process with ID and facial recognition in order to prove themselves as a real individual. And that is how we were able to get over 40,000 KYC users, because all these collectors wanted to continue to grow their collection and take part in the gamified aspect of the Salad Gem NFT series. And thankfully, with all that support, we've been able to achieve over 2.5 million mints today. With haven't had a time to update that, so I do want to apologize. But essentially, looks like we have somebody unmuted as well. Let's try whether we can find the source. Once again, guys, please make sure you have your... Oh, right. I think it's Jai Jam with the audio coming through. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So again, pardon me. Essentially, we were so grateful for all this, and we sort of realized that we have all these users coming in, and that is how we have translated it into our Arcaden partnership today by helping other Web3 projects grow. But I think ultimately the reason why we were able to get so many mints and so many KYC users is that folks really, really enjoyed the gamified aspect of collecting the NFTs, forging them into higher rarities, forging them into weapons. We kept coming up with the storyline and the design to keep them engaged. And ultimately, we kept adding more features into it as well, like the gem leaderboard that calculates their ranking. And now, as a way to reward our early adopters, all this is being aligned to our airdrop campaign, where they stand to get Salad tokens. So it's a direct reward to our users, and something that we want to do for our early adopters and for those who are coming in to the ecosystem for the very first time. So again, Mathil, thank you so much for the question. We are very proud of the support that we've received, and we will continue to narrate this to all those who are wondering what are gem NFTs, because that's what we are here for, and ultimately allowing you to enjoy the benefits of our ecosystem.
Of course. And what I actually really love about Salad Ventures is, when it comes to their supporters, it's just like block ties. So, block ties as well, right? So it's really organic, and the people is really kind when it comes to their culture. Because, when you support each other, we need that. And at the same time, on what's happening today, especially the crypto is being attacked again, we need to actually have more people like you guys. So thank you so much for setting that example and for always helping when it comes to collaboration and, of course, providing quality contents. So I do have a great question also, since you mentioned about gem. So can you exactly tell us what is gem NFT?
Definitely, Myrtle. And again, thank you so much for the kind words. I think right there at the very beginning, when you talked about the synergy between both Block Tides, PlaceWar, and Salad Ventures, I think there is a lot of common symmetry there that we hold a lot of value in. And that's always very heartwarming in the sense that we continue to build and push together, which is why, again, we are so grateful for this opportunity today to just engage with the communities and have our own sharing session. But to get really down into what are gem NFTs exactly, again, you are able to collect these NFTs, take part in the whole gamified aspect of forging them, upgrading them to weapons, etc. And they are all recorded on the blockchain on our gem leaderboard. So recently what happened was that we had a snapshot for the gem leaderboard and we captured the top collectors, all right? So we intend to give rewards to the top 1,000 collectors, and we intend to give another whole set of rewards for the top 200. That's going to be a phase of distribution. But currently, right now, the collecting of the gem NFTs will translate to the airdrop campaign that we are running for the Salad token. So again, it's all down to the proof of participation and the proof of activity that allows users to collect these gem NFTs. Everybody today in this call is now being captured by the Galaxy Snapshot bot that is recording your attendance for a minimum of 15 minutes. You will then be allowed to mint for yourself those 5 NFT loot boxes, which will give you the gem NFTs inside. So within, again, you have the bronze, the silver, the gold, and the rainbow gem. You could get any one of these. You get the rainbow, you are super lucky. That's going to give you a great score on the leaderboard and ultimately more points on our airdrop campaign as well. And again, you have all the different aspects of the forging that I mentioned earlier. You can craft for yourself weapons. The bronze gems will become a bronze sword. You can equip that and forge it to the higher rarity, silver, gold, and rainbow, so on and so forth. And we are continuing to build on this narrative because ultimately we want to be able to gamify the gem NFTs even more. All right, we want to be able to integrate them with the Arcaden platform and allow users to use the gem NFTs to improve their gaming experience and performance on Arcaden as well. So there is still a lot of work to do for the gem NFTs itself. Gem collectors, you will be very happy to know that we will be launching the additional weapons very soon. I believe the spear campaigns have already gone live. So you are able to forge for yourself bronze, silver, gold, and rainbow spears. And the Great Axe weapon NFT campaign will be launched very, very soon as well and added into the leaderboard calculation. All right. So that's the general summary of what gem NFTs are. But if I were to wrap up this answer, essentially it is a collect and earn experience. A collect and earn experience that caters to 2 unique groups of individuals. One group that wants to collect because they are enjoying it. Super fun, right? Super fun. And when they collect, they get that sense of satisfaction of growing their collection. And then you have the other group of individuals who are collecting to sell for instant gratification, for profit on the secondary markets. So we are able to have this whole ecosystem where users can come in, trade their time, trade their resources to do what they want, whether to collect and earn and expand their collection or to just simply sell those gems to the other collectors and other investors and earn something for their trouble. Thank you.
And talking about that, I'm also curious when it comes to the NFT loot boxes.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So again, guys, I have mentioned that a couple of times already. Thank you so much, Myrtle, for the question. And we mentioned it because as a reward for our attendees today, you will be able to mint for yourself those 5 NFT loot boxes. And just by scrolling through the voice channel, I can see plenty of gem collectors who have come in today to show their support because, Myrtle, they will, again, not only get the opportunity to expose themselves to this wonderful project here at PlaceWar, but they will all be looking forward to opening up their 5 loot boxes after this AMA because sitting inside those loot boxes could be a rainbow gem, the holy grail of NFT loot boxes. So I think it's a little bit of a rush, and I do feel that even though I am part of the project itself, I do love to collect my loot boxes. I in fact will be going on later to mint those and to see what I get. But essentially, it's like that gacha mechanism. When you claim 5 loot boxes, Galaxy is just essentially minting 5 NFTs for you. All right, so it's not like you need to physically open up the box on the blockchain and then something pops out. No, it's just like a random generator for you to mint 5 gems. So if you're super unlucky, and that's usually me, Myrtle, I'm going to get like 5 bronze. 5 bronze or 4 bronze and 1 silver. If I'm super lucky, I get to see 1 silver. And I know some of my gem collectors can relate to that. But ultimately, if you find yourself a gold or a rainbow, that's lucky days, all right? You can trade that on the secondary marketplace, or you can use that to grow your collection. So we have Slowpoke in the chat who is highlighting his bad luck as well. I totally relate to that, buddy. 1 silver gem from 40 boxes, the rest were bronze. It is what it is. It happens. But it's fun. It's fun to open up the loot boxes, and that way we get to reward our community, individuals like yourself, ladies and gentlemen listening now, as we give you that value, that fun for your time, while we give you all this value added within the session as well. So that is exactly what the loot box is all about. But again, friends, if you have any queries about how to open them exactly, how to claim and mint, you just need to go on over to our seller Discord. We'll be more than happy to help you. And you just need to get your Galaxy and your Salad Passport in order to mint. There are plenty of collectors within our server who will be more than happy to share with you how you can go about getting those loot boxes. And who knows, when you get that rainbow gem, you get to decide, do you want to collect more or do you want to sell it for that 200, 250 USD? The choice is yours. And the choice is absolutely everybody's choice when you join our Salad Gem NFT series ecosystem. Thank you, Myrtle.
Kidding aside, your voices sound like an AI. Sorry.
Oh no, have I entered AI mode? Oh dear.
You're in AI mode now. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing that. So this is a good question as well. So when it comes to NFT leaderboard, so you also have that in Gem, and also in PlaceWar we have that. So what makes it different, by the way, and how does it work?
Oh, wonderful. We'll get to talk more about the PlaceWar leaderboard later as well. Tremendous. Thank you for the question. But again, for the Gem NFT leaderboard, it's very straightforward. All collectors who want to forge and take part in the ecosystem, they need to have the Salad Passport. And it's with the Salad Passport that they will be ranked on the Gem leaderboard. They will be detected, and the leaderboard will be able to pull all the data from their wallets itself and display their NFTs. And for every single NFT, whether it's a bronze gem, a bronze great sword, a rainbow dual daggers, or a rainbow gem, every NFT has a different point value. And all that is tabulated by the leaderboard and placed in full display for everybody thanks to the wonders of blockchain technology. So a user just needs to go onto the leaderboard. That is leaderboard.arcaden.com. If you haven't created an account, you can create one, of course, and it's absolutely free to do so. And then you're able to put in your wallet address to see your ranking of your Gem NFT collection. So again, the whole purpose of ranking up on the leaderboard is to rack up points for our airdrop campaign as we await the upcoming listing of the Salad token. So users will now be able to see their rank, know where they stand amongst other collectors, and again, make that decision for themselves on how hard they want to push in order to get more benefit for themselves. All right, so that's the Gem leaderboard. It's ongoing, and everybody who has a Salad Passport will be able to see how well their collection stands amongst other collectors. Thank you.
Thank you so much for explaining that. And of course, outside of the questions that I prepared, basically, what's your inspiration behind all of this?
Oh, Myrtle, I wish that I could take a lot more credit for this. But again, all this came from the brilliant mind of my colleague, our growth lead, Gabriel. Some of the gem collectors present today might have interacted with him once or twice, but I would say his inspiration really came from his gaming background. And I think he has had more of a gaming background that was inclined towards the leveling up experience and the feel-good factor. But there were a lot of different situations around that. And, we talk about like the gacha games, for example, Myrtle. You have a lot of these users that were sort of pressured and forced and, finding themselves in that kind of position where in order to keep up, they needed to invest more money in the game. I think the term for this is power creep or level creep or something like that. Apologies if I didn't get that right, gamers. But essentially, you could have one weapon, it could serve you pretty well, and then a new weapon will come out, and then you have to end up spending more. So I think what Gabriel understood about this, right, was that he wanted to, again, appeal to the gambling nature of a user by taking part in our Salad Gem NFT series because, when you forge our gems and weapons, there is actually a chance for the NFT to fail the forging process. That's right, which means that your bronze sword, instead of becoming a silver sword, just stays as a bronze sword and you lose your forging materials along the way. Now, the way that we have decided to incentivize our first winners of the Gem Leaderboard is that they are going to get a special NFT pass that allows them to access a forging campaign with no failure rates. So that's something to give them a little bit more of a boost and a bonus when it comes to forging. So again, the inspiration through the gamified elements and then ultimately giving people that sense of gambling and gacha, I think that has all played a part in the development of the Gem NFT series. But what I like the most is that he has developed this ecosystem now where folks are able to get that return for yourself. Because what exactly I'm talking about, Myrtle. When you're playing the mobile game, you already have all these assets. You want to keep going, you want to stop, you want to take a break. You still can't get any value from those assets because they're just locked in a Web2 game. And I'm sure that all of you know, as part of the Web3 space, you could take any of those NFTs, you could list it, and get some profit back. So I think in all, that's how the whole idea was conceptualized. And eventually, we're going to have this integrated with a clicker game as well that will allow folks to enjoy their Gem NFTs even more. I'm excited to see what else Gabriel has up his sleeve. Thank you.
That's a great inspiration. And of course, thank you for answering that. So goes to my last question. Of course, all of this on what happened recently for what you announced. So how does all of this basically tie into Salad's recently announced airdrop campaign?
Thank you, Myrtle, for the question. And yes, super excited again to share with the fam in regards to the airdrop campaign, because for the longest time now, gem collectors have been asking, okay, so what do I stand to gain from all this collecting? All right. Again, a lot of individuals, a lot of dear collectors, they were collecting because they enjoyed it. Collectors like Slider TV, hey buddy, good to see you. Thank you for your support. So they've been collecting it and they've been enjoying the process, right? But some of them, of course, and no blame to them, they will ask, what am I going to get out of this collecting? Aside from the fun that I'm having. So eventually, the leaderboard came into the picture, and then the leaderboard has its own prize pool, and that's going to be distributed soon. But now the ongoing leaderboard will again contribute to our Salad Token airdrop campaign, the best way to reward our users in the ecosystem. So the onus is on us now to really build the Salad Token to give you that value. We want to be able to go out there and get the narrative right for all of our potential buyers. Once again, to know all about the ecosystem that we are building. We have acquired so many users, and our ultimate goal is to help Web3 projects grow through all these cohesion, collaboration, and utilizing the community that we have built, again, to power the entire ecosystem and give that value to the Salad Token. And now for our gem collectors, you will be able to, of course, participate in the airdrop campaign and get your Salad Tokens for free. All right. So, of course, it is not entirely free, the process. There is still that opportunity cost, that investment that you need to have when it comes to investing in your gem NFTs. But essentially, there are a few qualifying actions at airdrop.salad.ventures. Once more, that's airdrop.salad.ventures. You can see that when you rank on the leaderboard and you achieve certain ranking tiers, let's say you are in rank 20 or rank number 98, for example, you would be able to get the points from top 1,000, top 500, and top 100. And then when you collect more rainbow gems and NFTs, you get more airdrop points as well. And when you mint, forge, you get action points by participating in the ecosystem. All this, again, tying in towards the Salad airdrop campaign. So again, super excited about that because we get to really see all the fruits of all of our collectors' labor come together towards this huge milestone for Salad Ventures. So I am super excited about it. Again, guys, I don't have to go into the full details because there are a lot of different qualifying actions. There are a lot of different details that you need to absorb at your own pace. So what I'll probably do with Myrtle's permission, perhaps, is just to put down the airdrop link so that you guys can check out the page for yourself. And of course, if you have any queries, you can always come on over to our Salad Discord and tag me or any of our community moderators, and we will be more than happy to help. All right, so look out for that, guys. That's coming up really soon with our token launch, and the airdrop campaign from Salad is currently live. Thank you for the question. Looks like we have another rogue microphone. Mihai Bratu84 has been spotted. So yeah, that's it for me. Thank you, Myrtle.
Thank you so much, Wesley, for answering all of the questions. So later, guys, we'll be answering all of your questions after me, of course, introducing PlaceWar. So you can go ahead, Wesley.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Myrtle. And now, guys, the time has come for us to really catch up with what PlaceWar has been doing all this while. For those of you that haven't had the opportunity to join us for the previous AMAs, let's give that introduction to the community today, all right? So, Myrtle, could you please give us all a quick introduction to what PlaceWar is all about?
Hold on. Okay, I thought I'm muted. So, basically, PlaceWar is an exciting game. It's not a card game, guys, where you can definitely use strategic skills for you to be able to earn rewards. So, if you're familiar with Worms before or Gunbound, so basically that's the inspiration, and at the same time the infamous our place. So way back we basically successfully raised around 2.4 million for private and seed, and yeah, so you can definitely go ahead and check out our marketplace, so mp.placewar.io, and of course you can definitely control all of the tanks, and of course it takes the next level for you to be able to add more features, such as skills and a whole lot more. And by the way, we released PVE way back 2022, and then now this year we basically launched player versus.
Everyone saw on the
Seems like the coast is clear now, Myrtle.
Yeah, so basically it's very easy for everyone to understand PlaceWar. So it's actually mobile ready, and we are planning to do esports ready as well, because Gunbound also have its own esports way back, and we're definitely planning to do that as well. And yeah, so definitely that's the updates that we have.
Wonderful, super exciting. And again, as a big fan of Worms, I can totally relate to the excitement and adrenaline that you can get from playing such a game. And especially kudos to the team for the development throughout the many months and to reach where you are today. But I think that for many a gamer, especially one who is familiar with the Worms and Gunbound concept, one would actually automatically start to imagine what are the different key elements within PlaceWar that stand out compared to the, if I could describe it as like the godfathers of this genre, right? Worms and Gunbound. So what are these key elements that, really make the gameplay stand out, make it more interesting, and ultimately appeal to the gamer that really enjoys this particular genre?
So basically, we're removing the stigma of earning. So that's what happened way back 2021 up until 2022. So basically, we want players to engage, at the same time have fun inside our platform. And of course, what makes us different is we strive to really build when it comes to education about Web3. So it's really rare for you to be able to see that, because, in order for us to definitely onboard more users, is for us to make more analogies and education when it comes to seamless seamless operations and seamless production when it comes to social media handles. The information that we actually convey in a simple way that a 5-year-old can definitely understand. So that's what makes us different. And of course, the key aspect element is basically running into blockchain technology, which is very decentralized. You can see that all of your receipts when it comes to your transactions on the blockchain. And
Wonderful.
we're not
It sounds... Oh, pardon me.
not a card game.
Yes, we do have to make that abundantly clear, guys. And again, just that thought that popped in, right, Myrtle? You were mentioning that, you want to give that front-facing value so that, perhaps even a 5-year-old would be able to understand the game. Is that in relation to like the onboarding experience as well? Because you also mentioned about the educational role that PlaceWar has in, onboarding a new user, right? How does that process go? And perhaps what are the other different steps are you looking to improve on to allow a user to come onto PlaceWar and just get to enjoy the fun immediately, enjoy it in the most simplistic way possible?
So basically when it comes to the white paper that we have, you can see there all of the technical stuff and of course the gameplay. And at the same time, it's really hard for a project from an NFT perspective for you to convey your game as not in a Web3 way promotion, you know? So you people doesn't really need to know that your project is basically from Web3 or yes, NFTs is very important for us to provide the information with. But of course, when it comes to the gameplay, it's really not that hard for us to convey that message. So it's our content strategy on what we're doing, and we're actually planning to do major mini road shows when it comes to education per city for PlaceWar. So we're just planning it out because I don't want to plan out things when it comes to impulsive decisions. We're still checking the current market situation. We have to actually align with a lot of things when it comes to the decision that we're going to take, right? So, of course, proper regulation. We're currently partnered with GAB. So it's basically games and amusements board here in the Philippines, which actually issue licenses when it comes to esports. So we are blessed and of course honored and supported by the government. And that's the first way to go for us. And of course, when it comes to the gameplay mechanics, so we focus on the territory control gameplay mechanic. So I don't know yet for when it comes to the development, but definitely we're gonna incorporate mini games when it comes to PlaceWar. And of course, the sustainability aspect. One roadmap is not really the fixed roadmap of each project. It may change because blockchain and Web3 is still its infancy, right? So we're still building right now when it comes to the proper sustainability of each project, trying to survive, trying to make it more sustainable for everyone. And at the same time, of course, the artillery versus turn-based that we have. So we do provide that when it comes to our games. And of course, when it comes to the publication of our game in the major game publishers and launchers, such as Google Play and App Store, there's still a hard time for us to definitely be approved for App Store, right? So that's the main goal that we have. So basically, when it comes to this, we're going to provide leaderboards and at the same time custom servers as well. And yeah, so that's about it.
Tremendous. You mentioned the leaderboard earlier on as well. Was that included together with your PvP launch, as in allowing folks to compete? I'm assuming they increased their MMR level or some sort. Has that already been launched? Is it ongoing?
Not yet. So basically, we're not yet in the first season. So all games have season, right? So basically, we're checking still, testing the waters of what is the best way for us to do that. And the leaderboard, of course, it's just like that's the reason why we are also a DAO. So our place token serves as a huge governance when it comes to the whole ecosystem. You have the right to vote when it comes to, of course, when it comes to guild wars, that's going to happen in the future. So that's the main point of that.
Very nice. Very nice. Thanks for clarifying. And just to add on to the key elements question, right, Myrtle, because, the one thing that comes to mind is that when you have these games of sort, it seems to weigh heavily, perhaps, and in a good way, I feel, in terms of the skill of the gamer, all right? And I'm sure that has definitely crossed your mind and the team's mind in development, because obviously this is tied into, Web3 and blockchain. The assets, of course, can be acquired for real-life value. So how did you actually balance that in PlaceWar? Just for us to get an idea. Like, if I were to want to invest a significant amount more than the standard player, would that give me a huge advantage in the battlefield? How does that work exactly?
So basically, it's not about the NFTs that you actually buy. It's all about the skills that you have. So inside our game, you need to level up for you to be able to be strong in the battlefield. So basically, that's the reason why Place is very useful when it comes to upgrading your tanks, and at the same time incorporating the skills and other utilities when it comes to for you to be able to conquer your enemies. So that's about it.
Wonderful. What about aesthetics though? Has the team made any heavy implementation towards that? And is it part of the roadmap?
When it comes to aesthetics, we want to incorporate the nostalgia feels. So that's what we collaborated way back along with our developers, our partners, and basically our designers. So we want it to be 2.5D. If you can imagine, it is not AAA game. So I don't believe when it comes to AA game, it's where you can actually enjoy without basically we do have different perspectives when it comes to the genres when it comes to games, right? So
No doubt.
some prefers 1D, some prefers Candy Crush with a simple mechanics, and some really prefers 2.5D and AAA games. So we actually don't need to what do you call this, bash or say bad stuff about other games, but of course for us to respect other perspectives. So this is what we want when it comes to the visual style. And at the same time, we want to actually implement the metaverse thing in or incorporating other brands, like for example, Crypto.com Capital inside the tanks customization that's possible. So basically, the aesthetic is very nostalgic. And at the same time, the combination of this is basically not in a, what do you call this, orthodox way. But when it comes to this, if you can compare this to Axie Infinity and My Neighbor Alice, so our game basically employs 2.5D visual style, combining 3D characters, is not our genre.
Wonderful, wonderful. And apologies if I did not articulate the question right, though, Martha. And I completely resonate with you in that regard with
Sure.
the direction that you have chosen for PlaceWar together with the team, right? I'm a big fan of the nostalgic look. I am a big fan of simplicity as well. So I think that appeals to a very, very broad audience. But what I was actually curious about, right? And if I can give you a reference, I've recently been playing a lot of this Web2 game called Marvel Snap. I'm sure you might be familiar with the Marvel franchise, obviously. It's a huge IP. So there is actually no way to sort of like invest in order to get yourself sort of like an advantage over your opponent. It really bows down to the investment you make into the aesthetics and the cosmetics, rather. I think perhaps that was the word I should have used. So I'm curious from a place war perspective. Let's say I got the skills all down to pat, and you got to invest time, like you said, right? Invest time to level up your tanks in order to get better on the battlefield, improve their stats and whatnot. But are there any plans for cosmetics in the game? Is it already in place where folks can invest, and or perhaps like I don't know, I'm just like talking off the top of my head right now, where they stake place and then they earn special skins. Is that part of the roadmap? Is that happening? Do tell us.
Not yet. So thank you for the idea, Wesley. So we can definitely incorporate that very soon. I will check. I will have to check about that because other games really incorporate aesthetic like level up, right? So we all do know like other games like FPS incorporates aesthetic as well. You need to buy skins for you to be able to do that, right? So for you to be able to be strong. So I know how to I'm a gamer myself when it comes to way back, but I stopped. Of course, I'm now basically building when it comes to projects and companies.
Wonderful, wonderful. And again, very curious on the key elements of PlaceWar, and I'm just wanting to get a little bit of a better understanding for myself and also for the community, right? You mentioned the Place token. I'm assuming that is the medium of exchange when it comes to purchasing your first NFTs and other essentials that could possibly improve your performance on the battlefield. Are there any mechanics involved with the Place token? Like when you stake it, do you get more? And I'm assuming the earning mechanic also works in that way where you win games and then you earn a portion of Place tokens. Am I right? Just to give us a understanding, especially for those who are very, very, very new to PlaceWar.
Thank you so much for actually bringing that up. So when it comes to Place, I really don't want to what do you call this, answer when it comes to the pricing as well. But of course, when it comes to this one really has when it comes to utility. So you can definitely go ahead and of course upgrade everything when it comes to your skills, you can purchase something inside our game, our platform. And at the same time, when it comes to the utility, again, I mentioned earlier, we do not actually do staking. So we do have liquidity mining in Gate.io, but when it comes to staking, so basically the developers and my partners decided not to do that when it comes to, of course, the length and lifeline of our project. But of course, we're still considering that when it comes to staking.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for clarifying. And just in case we have missed out on any of the milestones that PlaceWar has achieved or the plans in place for the future, I know you have already mentioned a lot in development. Just wondering whether is there anything else to highlight especially for the Salad fam, those who are very, very new to PlaceWar. What exactly are they looking forward to as the key milestones on your roadmap?
So, milestones when it comes to the roadmap. So we've already done when it comes to the demo, of course, and then PVE. We do have a lot of partnerships happening. We're being exposed now to a lot of NFT aggregators and launchers. And at the same time, of course, when it comes to the achievements and milestones that we actually had way back. So NFT Rising Stars in Hong Kong. So TADS Award 2022. And of course, in GameFi.org is our very close partner. We done our IDO there. So the top 10 games raised to glory 2023. And of course, we were nominated recently in Hacker Noon. So if you're an OG, you know Hacker Noon for the best startup 2023 in Macedonia.
Amazing. And I think we might have had our first question come in on the voice room chat. Just a reminder, guys, if you have anything for Myrtle or myself, that's the place to go to punch in those questions. But I think the question on Myrtle and my mind, is whether I can't seem to read that fancy name. I think it's Rubber or Rudder. Where to mint? Are you referring to the PlaceWar tanks? Yes, maybe Myrtle can explain that first.
Well, you can definitely go to MP. I think that's yours, but you can answer that also, Wesley.
Yeah, probably.
So mp.placewar.io, so that's our marketplace, and you can definitely go and connect your meta. And how about Intel? How to mint?
Yes. Thank you so much for reminding me. I completely forgot about that. I got a little bit too engrossed in the conversation. I think we do have like this SOP list that my colleague has actually put together for me. I really ought to save that somewhere to find easily instead of having to piece my words together now just to buy myself time. But I do have it now. The loot box link. Okay, this is the most important link, essentially. When you guys want to get your hands on the gem NFTs, this is where you need to go. All right, this is exactly where you need to go. And as long as you have attended today's AMA for a minimum of 15 minutes, you would be able to mint these 5 loot boxes for yourself. And ta-da! There could be a rainbow or a gold gem waiting for you inside. But again, just to highlight in detail, you gotta have your Galaxy passport and you gotta have your Salad passport as well. What about my first question before? Okay, we didn't have to scroll up there. Let's see. I think this one is for Myrtle, obviously, because we have no play element for the gem NFTs at the moment. So I'm gonna let you take this one, Myrtle. How about for some that have no time to play but only want to invest? How does an investor fit in? Interesting.
Oh, so that's where our major partner actually comes in. So it's efkdao.io. So you can definitely go ahead and rent NFTs or make your NFTs for rent.
Wow, perfect. There you go, Rudder. That's your answer right there. You can stock up on tanks and rent them out to would-be players. And I think Sai has a question for you too, Myrtle. One problem of PlaceWar is the matchmaking. I believe there are solutions in place for this. Yes, very interesting. This is the PvP element, I believe.
Yes, so basically, if ever that you're having issues when it comes to the matchmaking, our ticket system here on Discord is open. So basically, guys, please do submit that so we can fix that and for us to definitely make the queue more faster for you to be able to do that. So it's actually 2 versus 2.
Wonderful, wonderful. I completely resonate with that, Myrtle. The importance of the support tickets. I cannot stress that enough. especially to our community, because sometimes, they might get a little bit lost coming into the Discord and then they're in the general chat. Help me. I need to know how to do this. And, sometimes you can get lost in all the rabble that goes on in the general chat. So I think that applies really to both communities. Folks, if you have any queries about the Salad Gem NFT series and you want to get some help, you are always welcome to open up a support ticket on our Discord and we'll be more than happy to help. Yes. Well, at this time, again, I believe there is still a few more moments for questions, but I thought that I would just take this opportunity to, and of course with Myrtle's kind permission, just to paste down some of the other relevant links for everybody's knowledge. This is the Salad Passport link. This is the KYC process that I mentioned. You need to have your Galaxy Passport first. You need to get your ID out, facial recognition and everything. But don't worry, because this data is not kept by Galaxy or Salad Ventures or Salad Ventures. We don't have access to this data. It is all stored by a third-party service provider known as Persona. So Persona has the data and it's all encrypted. So I know some folks may be a little bit iffy when it comes to KYC in Web3, but rest assured that we do not consume this data and information. All right, it's all kept safe on Persona. It's just a way for us to identify you as a real person. And the real reason why we want to do this is because we do not want you guys to lose out to bots. Bots that could game the system, create multiple wallets, and just go crazy with the minting, go crazy with the forging, go crazy with the participation of AMAs and blah, 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 and then just rank up their gem collecting because of the fact that they are bots. But because of the fact that there's a KYC element in place, real individuals, real collectors will be rewarded for their time and effort, all right? And that is all in place as well for the airdrop campaign, all right? We don't want to... It's not like we're not going to reward those that have multiple accounts, just to make that a little bit clear. There are some QAs that a multiple wallet holder would be able to enjoy and earn points from, but the real users will get rewarded more. Yes, definitely. All right. I think at this time, I'm just wondering whether Myrtle has anything more to add for the AMA itself. I think we could go on for a long, long time. Just want to get a gander of how you feel in regards to the time and all. Just 8 minutes to 7, I believe, in Manila as well.
Yes, it's the same. So basically, I just want to invite everyone to follow our socials. And of course, don't forget to follow Salad Ventures, Wesley Matthews, and of course, myself. So we strive to make this space really thriving when it comes to education and quality contents, and at the same time for the community. So we're pro-community, and at the same time, we believe in organic growth of each, and of course, revolutionizing when it comes to the use of Web3 technology or the blockchain. So don't forget to support Salad Ventures, guys, and you may drop in all of your inquiries for PlaceWar. I don't know, Wesley, if you do have that as well for the ticket support on Salad Ventures. But if you do have questions, guys, it's really best for you to submit that, be open. And we are actually here, not really in a 24/7 way because there's a lot of inquiries. So we'll get back to all of the inquiries and questions that you may have.
Thank you once more for joining us today. If you enjoyed the content and value, don't forget to share this episode and subscribe for more. And Captain Aqua, here to remind you as always to stay calm and keep building even in these troubling times.